Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome and greetings from the warm of Dubai. My name is Vikash Malwari. I'm here with my colleague Azaz Shaikh, and together we are overseeing the growth market for Trades Group. But today it's about the leaders table. The leaders table is, I would say, the vehicle to connect through the building and the real estate industry. And today it's about season 2. Last year we had season 1, where we touched sparkling topics like connectivity, circularity, and also how the architectural scene is rebounding. I'm very excited to see season 2. And it's not easy to get a seat at leaders table. I tried myself many times. Right, Azaz? Tell me more about season 2.
Thanks, Vikas. Indeed, it's a privilege to be part of the season 2 of the Roundtable Conference. Welcome to all our guests. We have more than 200 industry experts from Middle East, from North Africa, from Pacific, and also from Europe. After successful season 1, the season 2, we're talking about some untapped and unspoken scenarios. For sure, it will be followed by some hard questions around it. Today, we have a very interesting topic, a topic retail. Retail has seen massive transformation in last year, and we're not sure how it look like in next coming years to come. We have a very interesting discussion today with the panelists, followed by we'll have a lot of question answer sessions. Our panelists will be more than happy to take your questions. It's like more like a debate. So feel free to ask questions. Feel free to be questions which are really hard on the topic which you want to learn. Very excited. Vikas, are you ready?
I'm thrilled, man. Let's go for
it. Great. Let's start the discussion.
Good morning, good afternoon. A warm welcome to this new roundtable organized by Trilux and MPP Synergy. I'm Olivier Picolin, I'm the founder of MPP Synergy, and I'll be moderator. Our topic today is retail, and more precisely, we'll be talking about another elephant in the leaders room. Does it still make sense for brands to invest into retail store and flagship stores? In other words, is lighting as we know it dying? Around our virtual table, we welcome Tobias Conrad. Tobias has been working for 18 years in retail design and customer experience in South Africa, Singapore, US, and Europe. Tobias is heading retail design for Europe within Deutsche Telekom, and Deutsche Telekom is the largest telecom provider in Europe. Also in Germany, Joachim Geiger. Joachim is Chief Commercial Officer at Trilux. Trilux is a leading lighting company. Joachim has 25 years of experience in sales and marketing. However, today, Joachim is going to contribute mostly from the angle of technology, innovation, digital concepts, Internet of Things. In Hong Kong, Xavier Van Gaver has been a business leader and a retail expert for more than 20 years. He has been shaping brand image experience and retail in 40 countries, including 11 years for L'Oréal as a GM in China, France, Russia, and Taiwan. Xavier is a founder of Sina Retail and Image, a creative retail design and project management agency with offices in Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Guangzhou. And finally, in Germany, Guido Fox. Guido is a lighting professional with 16 years in retail lighting business. Actually, retail lighting is more than a job for Guido. He's quite passionate about it. So currently, Guido is a head of export and global business development manager at Octalight, and Octalight provide lighting solution to retailers. So Xavier, you deal with many brands and especially fashion brands. So what do you think? Can we talk about a real transformation, or do you think your job is pretty much the same than 5 or 10 years ago, or brands are looking for something really different for their stores today?
Yes, I've seen over the last over the last 16 to 18 months, a huge shift, a major shift happening. One trend is the retail-tainment. I mean, the store, a boring store where you just have products on the shelves. I mean, I think they are dead. I even think that the name store, I start to call it a retail space, not anymore a store. The store is a bit old-fashioned in a way. So it's a retail-tainment space where the consumers can have a real show, a real experience. You need to come back again with some, I would say, retail-tainment campaigns on a very frequent. So the marketing calendar is very much more shortened. 5 years ago, many brands, they were depreciating a retail concept over 5 years. Now it's not anymore 5 years. It's in Asia, it's 2 to 3 years. But then there is a huge trend, of course, on pop-up stores today, so it's even shortening even more the life cycle of your retail space. I mean, I see the shift of the last 12 months, and you see more and more online retailers, at least in China, who were very successful in doing maybe 95% or even 100% of their business online, who have been acquiring some, I would say, retail chains to have a physical. So even the online retailers are moving to the offline. So the challenge today is you need to integrate retail experience, retail engagement, retail-tainment. You need to be sustainable. You cannot imagine now how it is becoming important for whatever brand if you are not bringing sustainable solutions or through the materials you are using, through the consumptions you are engaging, and so on. So this is also adding a challenge. And on top of that, you need to have the digital integration, IT development, hardware solutions, and of course motion design integration within this space with some much more shorter period of time. So it's becoming very challenging, but honestly very very interesting, very interesting.
Joachim, what's your take on that? What's the role of technology? What can technology really bring to retailers to address these needs?
Well, first of all, I think technology is able or is in the position to support that exciting journey which retail is currently in. It's a journey. It's a marathon. It's a development of brand, and from simply a space where customers, I mean, very efficiently picked a good or took a decision. Now we have one of the most significant touch points in a customer journey and creating fans and creating passion. So, I mean, that's the journey where retail is in. And I believe technology in general can help, is a very powerful leverage. And technology also can give direction and can guide in this journey and even improve. So it is not only making a choice and picking goods of things of your daily needs. So it is also to get inspired and get what you were expecting, but also deliver beyond expectation. So it's also to get inspired and to get passionate about what you do, to be a part of this peer group and to belong to this community wherever you go. If you go to in a telecom store, if you go in any other store, so to belong to this community, not only buying but being part of this and also interacting and exchanging. If we make a seamless interaction between customers, so customers today, we always talk about educated customers. So you rarely meet a customer in your store who wants to grab information. Most of them, they checked out the offerings online, they revisited this on Facebook, they know exactly how your net promoter score is, how much you like and dislike and so on. So customers know that. And coming from that pre-educated customer to give him directly the offering, the point, what he needs in the store, to link this from one to one is a good chance in in the online business. So to identify the customer, to see where he's moving and when, at what point he has made the choice, that technology can help. So knowing what the conversion is, we understand which customer is moving to which place, how the retailer can improve the utilization of his footprint, make a heat map of the store and say 80% of your customers, they enter your store when they've seen your window. So we can help with technology to improve on the conversion, to have retail analytics, to tell the average time in your store is, I don't know, 15 minutes. So more people are on your website and less people are in your store. We can improve your positioning, your setup in the store, your retail design, and so on. So we can link all different channels and can very precisely feedback how the efficiency of your store really works. This goes with sensors, this goes with lighting. We can improve on the individual use case and can give feedback how good it works. So it's not a guesswork, it's really on precise data and individual detailed information really in the very second that all happens.
We know that lighting can make product look better, more desirable, but can lighting really contribute to personalized stores and to enhance brand identity? Because we heard from Xavier and Tobias that it's not about selling products anymore, but it's really about engaging customers, create an experience, and so on. So how can you help?
Very good question. I'm glad we are not longer the end of the supplier chain. We moved forward. Yeah. Couple of years ago, we were really at the end because the topic lighting was on the end. It was just on off, and that dramatically changed. Switching to LED, the first steps were energy saving. Okay, that's where everybody jumped to LED. But now I see a next step, and Joachim said that already. It's also that we offer now smart lighting solutions. So the technology moves into a luminaire. They are smart, they are communicating. But also the biggest contribution besides that is really that we are able to create an atmosphere. And when we talk about retail-tainment experience, Tobias, your flagship stores, it's where you want to create areas, spaces where people stay longer. So you want to increase your dwell time. You want to make this a place where people go, maybe just relax because they feel good. It's a cool environment. And oh, besides that, I buy a smartphone. So I think the approach is different. You have things where it's convenient, where you go in, it's basic needs. You go in, you buy something, you go out. But on flagship stores and for Deutsche Telekom, you try to really create experience areas. And lighting is one part of this. It's definitely one puzzle, as you said, Olivier, because it's not just lighting, it's everything. You use sustainable products. For wood, for example, you use special colors. Deutsche Telekom has bold colors, yeah. But you want to create highlight areas, special areas inside your store. You have a 3D wall, areas where people can entertain. And Tobias, you mentioned X, Y, Z people. They go in with a cell phone. They might even look around. They might even have a coffee and they go out again and they buy online later on. But you had this opportunity to have this mixture of on and off. And lighting is definitely a part of this. And a good example is always just remember what you do at home. You know, if you cook, you have different lights on, more bright, more white, so that you can see what you do. Yeah. But once you're done with cooking, you turn the lights down. It's more like a candlelight, a warmer atmosphere. By this, you change the entire environment and atmosphere depending on what you do. So this is something we do nowadays as well already. We have different settings during the day. More light, whiter light during the day. But if we go to the evening, maybe there's a special event opening, you switch down the lights for a warmer atmosphere, a different atmosphere. So it's not a store, but it's rather an environment where you feel good and where you feel safe and where you just stay longer, because that's also one thing you try to achieve. You want to stay people, to have this interaction versus on and off. So create a very inviting atmosphere by using lighting.
What Guido said, I couldn't agree more, because it's so important. I personally am a big fan of the role of lighting in shops, but especially if you want to give an inspiring engaging experience to customers, I think lighting can really make a difference. So imagine, I always compare it to a theater. If you imagine you go into a theater and watch a play, and actually the spot is not on the person who's talking at that moment, you will miss it. And I think it's a similarity to our shops, that it can really, lighting can really make your head turn and really focus on a certain setting where you want to give engagement. And also what you said about the experience focus, I couldn't agree more, because that's for us, for example, in our recent experience center in Prague, we really try to engage with customers to give certain stages where you can interact, where you can find out more about our products or offerings, but also engage via events. So the team in Prague created a huge list of events. There are 3 events per day taking place, where they really want to become a meeting place for people, where they just come in, as you said, and then maybe occasionally they also update their products with us. But that's not the main purpose. The main purpose is, of course, to bring across the values of our brand, to really engage with customers, and to really stand with our brand promise, with life is for sharing, to also talk about or to offer topics which are important, which are relevant for customers nowadays, and to offer places where they can engage, where they can also exchange with others, and to then have the longer target to build up a community where you think, okay, there is something inspiring, I go there. And I think this is what people are expecting from retail in the future, like also what Xavier said in the beginning and Joachim said, that we really have to build places which are inspiring, which make people do the extra effort of going into downtown, of going into a center, because I think beside the rationality of online, that you can do everything online, I think people still have the tendency to have this physical engagement. I think every one of us experienced that in the last year. We talked about it in the beginning, that we are missing these physical connections of people, of being in the same room. And I mean, this video conference shows that you can actually do it, and you can bridge it, especially if you are on different continents in here. But on the other hand, people are still having this this desire, this interest of having physical experiences in there. But therefore, of course, they have to be very engaging, and they have to be inspiring, and to be updated. So I think it's very important to build it on eye level together with the community.
And the nice thing is, if I may add, the nice thing is that with technology and with lighting especially, we have the chance to be most flexible and most individual. Because I mean, if you select a color, if you select your furniture, or you create your building, you're more or less set. So you have something which is as is for the next period of time. If we take lighting, for example, we do have the chance to be very individual, case sensitive. So we may change from one initiative to another initiative. We may illuminate the space, or in more or less empty space in Monday morning in January, different to August afternoon with a full occupied store. So we are very flexible, and I think this is exactly what our customers are looking for: to be flexible, to be individual, to be case sensitive, and to give exactly this individual shape and this individual experience at any second of the day with minimum effort. So to simplify the individual experience, that's a great leverage what we have to our customers and to the customer experience. And I think this is all the only chance which a retail store, professional retail store, and a good brand experience can offer. And this perhaps is also the answer: is that a growing or a shrinking market? So I truly believe it's a growing market, because there is no other opportunity than to experience and appreciate this individual experience.
I'd like to come back on the flagship store concept, because they cost a lot of money. Xavier, maybe from your point of view, because you deal with many brands, so what is the role of a flagship store?
The flagship store is supposed to be, it depends if you're already, if you are entering the market, or if you are already an existing player. I can give you an example of Starbucks that everybody knows here. Starbucks, of course, you know, they have different concepts, but they have launched, I think it was a year and a half ago already in Shanghai, their biggest flagship worldwide. It's an amazing flagship store. Anyway, it's a huge, and they have even some people bringing the coffee, you know, the coffee grains with like it would be in a real coming from, I would say, from South America or Africa. And it's an amazing experience, and it's a huge, I can imagine it, but it's a way to tell the customers, okay, we are the best of the best. It's a way to stand out among the competition and to really to be one step ahead. The flagship store is most of the time the first. It's like your house. It's like you have the best. It's like a showroom where you can express all the maximum SKUs you may have within the categories. And then later on, if it is a successful element, then you can move to a smaller formats.
The flagships have such a halo effect to the rest of the chain of your stores, so that really you bring in an inspiring setup in that one store, in that one experience center there, and it has a halo effect to the rest of your chain. And of course, that's then the task to transform or to bring that across to the group of the other stores. So basically, to really scale it down, how can you make that experience also available in smaller formats where you don't have the same amount of effort?
I think the retail store not necessarily needs to be the point of purchase. I think with our customers in the future, from the marketing side, if we talk marketing, I think we are leaving the funnel and more entering a network. So we are the companions of our customers. So we contribute of the brand, they appreciate the brand, they're part of the network. So I think the store is a very, very important touch point for our customers, because that's the only touch point where we can utilize all senses, knowing exactly what our customers need and be exactly close to what needs to be achieved. That's like the key momentum in there.
Thank you, Tobias, Joachim, Xavier, and Guido. From our discussion, we can conclude that the retail design industry is indeed going through deep changes. However, it's still well alive, and it needs more than ever creativity and technology. Now let's take a first question from the audience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Olivier. Thank you.
Yes, so we have a first question for Tobias, actually. We talked a lot about flagship stores. Now, we learn also that some brands, they replace now product at the heart of flagship stores. So what is a trend? You know, we talk about experience. Is that product experience, or is back and forth? Oh, Tobias, you are muted.
Sorry, I was unmuted. Sorry, could you repeat the question? It didn't come across. Sorry, Olivier.
Yeah, we learn about flagship store that now some brands, they put again the product at the center of flagship stores. So it's quite, you know, in contradiction that everything we said about experience. Have you heard of that? What's your views?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, this is what's the core reason why customers coming in into stores, because they're interested into the products which you are offering in there. So for us, for example, it's a product which you don't even see, a network. So it's very hard to bring it across to customers if you have a product which you are even invisible to show. So we need to bring it across with experiences, with something which is inspiring, which makes you come and maybe which starts from a different angle in there, something you wouldn't expect. You know, how a network is set up and seen, and then it comes across via a gaming, for example, or via an event which is raising your interest. And I think that's the magic somehow also, which makes people come back into stores, because they want to get inspired. They want to see something from a different angle, from a different point, and of course, because they have a personal connection. I think that's one of the main reasons why people are still very engaged into stores, is the physical interaction, and seeing someone in reality is indeed something different as seeing across the screen. I think we all experienced that in the past year, how different it feels when you meet someone in person. So I think it's the mix of that together with the setup of the environment in the store, which gives you that extra sense, that extra smell, or that extra feeling. So that multi-sensory experience, which makes you come.
All right, we have a lot of questions about offline, online. One question for you, Joachim. Now it's not about B2C, but about B2B. What is the role of online B2B, and does it also change the rules of the game?
Well, I think no matter whether you are in B2C or B2B, you always need to interact at multiple touch points with the brand, and also the brand wants to meet the customer several times before he takes a decision or to share information. But in B2B, I think online becomes now really powerful, because first of all, you have really instant interaction, so permanent interaction with customers. That's a big help, and also in these days, being online and meeting customers online, and also building the community there online definitely is very powerful. But I think on the other hand, I mean, we always talk about the benefit also with a flagship store, how beneficial it is to present the brand. Of course, now for the brand managers or for any leader in the industry, it's very demanding to link all the channels to each other. So the brand experience needs to be consistent. So having an online experience which prepares the physical meeting and prepares the follow-up, perhaps also digital, that's very demanding, but that really gives a good flow and gives a perfect and very professional customer journey. So I think I also experience a great help to have a good mix between online and offline, to be really closely linked to the customer. And I think it will not be either or. It'll be always a healthy and a good professional mixture of both. So I think that's the future, to link both very efficiently together.
We also have several questions on younger generation. Xavier, in your views, what can make younger generation come back to stores, and what is the role of retail design there?
What we see, I think, is quite developed in Asia, where we are both of us based, but especially in China today. The retail space needs to be a space of discovery, of real emotions, and so selfies, and I think young customers. I mean, myself having teenagers, I'm totally amazed by that. But something that can be totally reproducible on WeChat and automatically spread about the social network. So if the retail space managed to keep this attraction towards the young generations, I think there is a still it will still drive a lot of traffic to those retail spaces or stores.
All right. A bit of a technical question, Guido. How can smart lighting add value per square meter, very concretely?
Well, it used to be, as I said in the beginning, on and off, just purely lights on. But nowadays, since our lighting solutions are smart, they're adding some additional services on top. There could be services like heat mapping. So you can check throughout the store where's the most traffic going on inside your store. If they enter the store, do they go to the right side or do they go to the left side? Is the far left corner in your store, is there people? Is there dwell time? Do they go there? Is it illuminated in a good way? Is the product presented in a good way? So all of this is nowadays combined. So lighting will, first of all, highlight and present your merchandise, but also create the emotion inside the store. But now by being smart, communicating to each other, the store owner has a dashboard where he can see how many people are in the store, or again, where is a lot of traffic, when it's a high peak during the day, is it at 12 o'clock, is it at 2 o'clock? Or even nowadays with respect to gender, so is it female, male coming to your stores, and an average of the age? So is it rather younger people in the 20s, or is it people, let's say, in the 50s or 60s coming to your store? All of this is nowadays via cameras, but also lighting technology possible.
So let's ask a user, actually, Tobias. You know, how can collected data on consumers help you? How do you use them?
I think you can learn much more from about your customer story. That's I think the waste management downstairs. So this is live. So I think potentially, of course, the knowledge, knowing when people are coming in, for example. So when are you offering certain events for your customers for a certain age group? So it's very relevant to know when people are coming to your stores anyway. And of course, also knowing when you display, for example, certain offers, or display certain events which are taking place. So I think data is a huge relevance, but it's more the question of what you do with the data in an intelligent way, and how you also make it the benefit of the customer. Because I think often companies act too much internally centric, and forgetting about, okay, what can I do as benefit for a customer? How can it be more engaging than as a conversation, for example, if I know more about it? If I know, for example, I have an appointment with a customer coming at 11 and he's coming for a certain reason, so I can prepare myself. So I have a much better conversation, because I can start, hey, Olivier, you're coming in today to our store, and I learned you doing XYZ, for example. So it's a totally different conversation starter compared to what brings you here today, and then customer starts explaining. So just as an example, so I think it's about what you really make of it, and what benefit can you also provide to a customer.
We have a question about transformation in retail. I think it's for you, Xavier. So what is the biggest challenge of implementing a real change in retail design? So from a creative agency point of view.
But now it's becoming the sustainability is becoming crucial at any part of the process, of the creative process. So of course, starting from the selection of the materials, and also the integration of the digital elements that are, because it's, as we said, digital is really becoming I would say a companion and a tool used to engage more and more, and also to get some data, of course. So this also has to be taken into account also at the initial stage, and so it's becoming very, very complex. And on top of that, of course, you need to eventually try to anticipate the evolution of your space over the years, or even the month or the weeks, because the challenge of the retail is it should not be static at all. So it should be evolving ideally like a theater, almost like every night. I mean, if I have the extreme, it could be like a different act every day or every week, based on the. So this is becoming. So just to summarize, sustainability, digital integration, and modularity, and of course within a certain space. So the constraints are becoming interesting.
I think we have time for one or two more questions. Now, a bit of a challenging question here. We hear a lot about guiding consumers through the stores and so on. Now, isn't that killing also the kind of natural behavior of consumers? So maybe Joachim, you can take that question.
But I think it is twofold. Actually, yes, we can. I mean, giving direction and guiding through the store, of course, that increases, let's say, the efficiency of being in the store. But of course, it's the opposite of having experience, walk around and find out and let's say give an experience which is beyond the expectation of a customer. And I think it's the extra mile what we can go. So means if a customer comes in the store and we'll help on his journey, on his physical journey through the store, I think the store itself, the store design, setting up and setting highlights is exactly the extra mile what we can do. It means to deliver on his purpose why he enters the store, number one. So tick the box, yes, I found what I was looking for. And on top of that, because that's what was a very efficient journey, then we can inspire him, then he can find things he was not expecting and can really deep dive in the brand experience of that store. So I think making the first part of the journey most efficient gives extra time for the second part, and that delivers an experience which he has not expected, which is then positive, and he will create fans of that brand. So I think it's exactly twofold and to the benefit of the customer very much.
Maybe a last question, Guido. How can lighting really help personalize stores? Maybe you can give an example or two.
Yeah, no, very good. It's the individualization on the stores. You know, if the stores need to set themselves apart from the competitors, it's the store design and the layout. I've seen stores, for example, a tea store where you buy during the day your tea, but in the evening they're giving actually yoga classes. So an entire different scenario, and light needs to offer the same scenario as well. So during the day selling merchandise, but in the evening having a different scenario inside the store. I've seen a transformation in a lot of grocery stores where you typically just go in, you buy your merchandise, your milk, or something for the barbecue for the weekend, and you go out again. But nowadays, they have inside the store different areas, live cooking events, for example. They do wine tastings where they show their latest wine selections and their cheese that you sell in the store. But also seating areas. They have sushi areas incorporated also. So the dwell times or the stay time, they stay longer in the store. And lighting has to actually follow that path, yeah, while having specific lighting for the product, but then changing during the day, having a more warm and inviting atmosphere. So individualized stores in combination with individualized lighting solutions. I think that's something that we definitely see more coming.
All right, look, I think time is up. So thanks a lot, Xavier, Joachim, Tobias, Guido. Thanks for being with us today, and thanks for the audience. So
thank you.
We'll meet next round
Thank
table.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Next time. Thank you.
I wasn't sure whether there's any moderation or it's just ending, but I think we are out, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tobias, I think so. Okay, Tobias, good talking to you. Alles Gute.
All right, so bye everybody.
Bye.